Yes, I would, but I would hate. First of all, I'll start by saying don't dichotomize. Don't create either. We can do a national, or we can do a regional, or we do an international. Because the reality is, art today in cities is an intercity uh, reality. I work in a number of theaters. I work with the Brooklyn Academy of Music. I work with the Kai Theater, which is the leading Flemish theater in Brussels. I will be next week at and work with the Radio System Theater in Berlin. These are all theaters that work with one another. They co-produce, they exchange programs, they create a sense of the globalism of modern multicultural arts, and I think there's no theater worth its salt that isn't watching what's happening in the region, watching what's happening nationally, but also watching what's happening over in Ireland, across the way in France. There's an amazing dance company called Rosus in Brussels that's in the Opera House La Monnaie there. They perform here. If I'm a young director here, I'm thinking I want to do something and take it over to La Monnaie and show it there and maybe get Rosus to come here. Pina Bausch, we know, is a great dance performer all over the world. Robert Wilson, perhaps the most extraordinary and ingenious American designer and director, does works all over the world, in Japan, in Indonesia, in France, in Norway. In fact, the one place he rarely does it is in the United States, where his genius isn't always appreciated. So the arts are by nature, as cities are, associational, intercultural, multicultural, transnational, transborders. And I think the best of that work, whether it was Ibsen being done in Germany in the 1880s, Brecht being done in England, or today, someone like Peter Brook, a great English master of the Royal Shakespeare Company with his own theater in Paris that plays all over the world, that the great companies, the important works, and they're not always big towns. Pina Bausch was from a very small German town, not from Berlin or Frankfurt, one of the great cities, but great companies are by nature cosmopolitan, transcultural, and universal. So, but again, think about how do you do that? Make art. Go back and make. That's where it starts. Don't think about how can I make my art effective, transnational, revenue producing. Think about how do I make